Imagine this. You're a kid in the late 90s, fresh Game Boy in hand, diving into the vibrant world of Pokémon Red or Blue. Pikachu's zapping foes, Charizard's soaring through the skies, and you're on an epic quest to be the very best. Everything feels perfect, until it doesn't. One wrong move, one hidden glitch, and suddenly your save file's a mess of scrambled pixels. Your Pokémon Hall of Fame is corrupted beyond recognition, and you're staring at a Pokémon that shouldn't even exist. Welcome to the shadowy underbelly of Pokémon. Glitches, exploits, rumors, and myths that have haunted players for decades. Today, we're plunging into the entire iceberg of Pokémon glitches and rumors. If you've ever wondered why Missing No became a legend, how kids swore there was a Mew hiding under a truck, or if those creepy Pokegods were real forbidden evolutions, this is the video for you. We're talking 3 full hours of deep dives from the surface level stuff everyone knows to the abyss of playground legends that might just make you question everything you thought you knew about the Pokémon universe. But first, let's set the stage. What even is an iceberg video? Picture an iceberg floating in the Arctic Sea. Above the water, the tip, you've got the visible, well-documented stuff. Safe, verifiable, the everyday realities. But as you dive deeper, the ice gets thicker, darker, more treacherous. Mid-levels hold half-truths, obscure quirks that only dedicated hunters uncover. And at the bottom, the crushing depths of pure myth, urban legends passed around schoolyards and forums, blending nostalgia with nightmare fuel. Some are debunked forever, others, well, let's just say the line between glitch and ghost story blurs fast. Pokémon Gen 1, those original Game Boy classics, are ground zero for all this chaos. Why? Because back in 1996, when Game Freak coded Red and Green on a shoestring budget with NS Tech, they couldn't test every edge case. The games were massive for their time, over 150 Pokémon, sprawling regions, hundreds of items, but the code, riddled with overflow errors, memory leaks, and assumptions that players would never do anything weird. Enter the glitch hunters, curious kids, speedrunners, and forum dwellers who poked every corner until the game snapped. On the surface, we've got the Hall of Famers. Take Missing No, the glitch Pokémon that exploded onto the scene in 1997. Some kid in the US, let's call him the Kid, discovered it by accident. Here's how it works. Early in the game, you talk to the old man in Viridian City for his Pokémon tutorial. He captures a wild Pokémon on screen, teaching you the ropes. But here's the kicker that glitches the game's memory. Fly to Cinnabar Island, surf along the eastern coast right up against the invisible wall, and boom, the game tries to load a Pokémon from a non-existent slot. Enter Missing No, a bird-like abomination with a family of variants like M and fossil Pokémon, remixes, catch it, and your 6th item in the bag duplicates massively, up to 128 of whatever's there, like Master Balls or rare candies. Hall of Fame? Scrambled into pixel soup. Badges? Sometimes they vanish. It sparked the first glitch hunting communities, speedrun strats, and even got Nintendo's attention. They patched it in later versions, but the legend lives. It's real, it's verifiable, and it's the gateway drug to Pokémon's glitch world. Then there's the Mew glitch, or trainer fly, as the pros call it. Mew was meant to be event exclusive, handed out at stores in Japan, but Western players? No dice. Until some genius figured out a sequence, battle a trainer on Nugget Bridge, hold down A to initiate, but teleport away with an escape rope before the fight starts. Run to Route 8, and a level 7 Mew pops up in the grass. It's finicky, wrong timing and nothing happens, but it works. No cheats needed, it's the ultimate, I caught Mew legitimately, flex. And don't get me started on map breaks. Safari Zone exploits warp you to Glitch City, a garbled mess of floating signs, invisible platforms, and buildings that shouldn't connect. From there, walk through walls glitches let you clip out of bounds, skip gyms, or crash spectacularly. These are the surface hits, proven, documented, replayable today on emulators. But as we descend, things get weirder. Mid-depths hold the glitches only obsessives chase. Battle engine quirks, like Pokémon sleeping through Hyper Beam's recharge turn, or Safari Zone balls behaving like they have a mind of their own. Missing No has siblings, Glitchmon ID Seuro, nicknamed M, or the fossil hybrids that turn your screen into abstract art. Item duplication isn't just missing No. Overflow your bag, and you can clone stacks or expand inventory in ways the devs never dreamed. These aren't beginner stuff. They require precise steps, often chaining multiple glitches. Mess up, and your save's toast. Fan communities map this out on sites like Glitch City Wiki or TS Videos. Speedrunners shave hours off any cent runs by abusing these. It's not just breaking the game, it's rewriting it. Now brace yourselves, we're hitting the deep layers. This is where glitches morph into rumours, facts twist into folklore. The infamous SS Anne truck myth. Kids swore if you pushed the truck aside with strength after the ship left, Mew hid underneath. Generation after generation tried it. Nothing. Zip. In remakes like Fire Red, they tossed in a lava cookie as a wink, but it's pure fiction. No Mew, no secret, just nostalgia goggles, then the big ones, Pokegods. Supposed pre-Evo prototypes like Fionaz, Evil Twin, or Crystal-type legendaries with cursed evolutions. Pika-Blue, that pink mermaid Pikachu traded in playgrounds, as real but rare. HM Jump, letting you hop over ledges like a kangaroo. Secret maps behind waterfalls, infinite Evo chains, Pokémon lurking in unreachable grass on routes 1 or 19. All bunk. Data mines confirm no such things in the code. Catching Missing No doesn't erase your save or virus your Game Boy. That's mom scare tactics. Worst case, graphical glitches fixed by beating the Elite Four again. But these myths fueled fan art, creepypastas, and ROM hacks that brought them to life. It's communal storytelling. One kid hears a rumour, tweaks it, passes it on. By Gen 2, rumours hit GameFAQs fever pitch. Deeper still, we hit the abyss. Claims of haunted cartridges, Missing No summoning real ghosts, Yamask-style souls trapped in code, beta Pokémon like stronger Mewtwo's, or ghost types that crash if caught. Unproven Safari legendaries, in grass patches you can't reach without glitches. Even wilder, Nintendo burying glitches on purpose to test players, or hidden Arceus in Gen 1 data. Pure speculation, fueled by data mining dead ends and lost prototypes. Why does this Iceberg matter? Pokemon's magic is its perfection, the Pokédex dream, collecting them all. But glitches reveal the cracks. Early games were fragile miracles. They birthed communities, Reddit's R Pokémon, Twitch streams of glitch showcases, docs like glitch exploitation. It's a love letter to discovery, the thrill of the unknown. Pros debunk myths to preserve truth. Fans cherish them for the mystery. In this video, we'll climb the tiers methodically. Surface first, relive Missing No. Mew, Glitch City, with visuals and recreations. Mid-depths, obscure battles, item hacks, mon variants you'll want to try. Deep, debunk Pokegods, Pika-Blue deep dives, truck myth origins. Abyss, creepiest legends, lost media hunts, what-ifs that keep theorists up at night. We've scoured archives, emulated originals, consulted glitch vets, timestamps below for jumps, but stick around. The deeper you go, the wilder it gets. Hit like if you're a glitch survivor, subscribe for more Iceberg dives, comment your craziest Pokémon myth below. Ready to shatter your childhood? Let's dive. From the familiar freezes to the forbidden folklore, this is the ultimate Pokémon glitch iceberg. Buckle up, we're surfacing East Coast right now. Diving into the iceberg, Pokémon's first games, Red and Blue, launched in 1996 on the Game Boy. A handheld with just 64 kilobytes of RAM and a processor slower than your microwave. Game Freak, a tiny team of 5 developers, crammed 151 monsters, sprawling regions, and endless battles into that fragile shell, racing against Nintendo's deadlines. Bugs weren't exceptions. They were inevitable, born from code pushed to its breaking point. And that's exactly what makes the Pokémon glitch Iceberg so mesmerizing. You know the Iceberg format, right? Those charts where the tip floats above water, hiding deeper, darker layers beneath. Well, apply that to Pokémon glitches and rumours, and you get a descent from proven exploits that warp the game in wild ways, down through half-remembered quirks that barely work, all the way to playground whispers that never existed. Real crashes mixed with fan-fueled legends, creating this perfect storm of what's true and what's tantalizingly false. Some glitches duplicate your items into infinity, others summon invisible beasts that corrupt your save. And the myths? They promise secret Pokémon gods or hidden worlds, pulling you deeper into the obsession. Why does this matter to you, sitting there with your controller scars from childhood? Because Generation 1 wasn't built to last. Imagine coding an entire universe on paper notes and assembly language, testing on prototype hardware that overheated after an hour. No fancy debuggers, no crash reports, just pure grit. The result? A game so unstable that one misplaced byte could unravel everything. Surf too far on Cinnabar's coast, fiddle with the wrong trainer battle, and suddenly you're in a garbage-filled void. That's the hook. These weren't accidents. They were the raw underbelly of innovation, exposing how close Pokémon came to total collapse. Think about it. The Game Boy's memory was tiny, forcing developers to reuse data in clever but risky ways. Pokémon IDs overlapped with item slots, maps bled into each other. Battles glitched because enemy AI shared RAM with your inventory. Rushed localization from Japanese to English mangled text pointers, opening doors to chaos. You press A at the wrong moment, and bam, your perfect playthrough turns surreal. This fragility sparked something huge. Communities of hunters who poked every corner, turning bugs into badges of honor. Speedrunners shaved hours by clipping through walls. Traders spread corrupted carts like digital folklore. But here's where it gets juicy. Not every tale holds water. The iceberg sorts them ruthlessly. Up top, the surface, you've got glitches everyone knows. The ones that went viral before viral was a word. Stuff that reliably breaks the game. Documented in magazines and early forums. Dive a bit, and it's murkier. Exploits that work once in a blue moon, or only on specific carts. Deeper still, the whispers. Pokémon that evolve into gods, trucks hiding legendaries, maps you access by holding B during a reset. Real meets myth, and you can't always tell them apart without diving in yourself. What pulls you down this rabbit hole? Nostalgia hits first. If you grew up trading at school, hearing, "Dude, did you know about the Mew under the truck?" It sticks. That rumor wasn't malice. It was hope. A wish for more magic in a game already bursting with it. Then curiosity kicks in. Why does this glitch work? How did fans discover it without walkthroughs? And fear. Pure, thrilling fear. One wrong move, and your save is bricked. Hall of Fame turns to static. Sprites melt into abominations. Yet players chased it anyway, because the reward was godlike power. Bottomless items, forbidden encounters. Let me paint the picture without spoiling the depths. Picture firing up red on your original grey brick. You're midway through, badges gleaming. You hear about a trick. The old man glitch, they called it. Follow the steps. Talk to the dude in Viridian, fly away, surf the edge. Your Game Boy beeps oddly. Screen flickers. Then it appears. A scrambled horror, half-bird, half-trash data named Missing No. Catch it, and your sixth item multiplies. Suddenly, you're rich beyond dreams. But the Hall of Fame ruined forever. Real glitch 100%. Fans mapped it, perfected it, built legacies on it. Now contrast that with the legends lurking below. Stories of Picard Blue, a blue rat god that nobody ever caught. Or Poké gods, evolutions locked behind invisible walls. HM Jump, letting you leap over barriers like Mario. Secret areas in the Safari Zone with infinite rare candies. You'd reset your Game Boy 1,000 times, heart pounding, only to find grass and Zubats. False, all of it. But the persistence, that's human. Kids on the playground, no internet, inventing lore to match the glitches they did find. It blended into one massive tapestry. This iceberg isn't just trivia, it's a time capsule of gaming's Wild West. Before patches, before online verification, glitches were your secret weapon. They humbled you too. Try walking through walls in what fans dubbed Glitch City, a warped cinnabar limbo of floating signs and invisible floors. Clip out of bounds and the game fights back. Freezes, warps, eternal blackness. Gen I's limits weren't flaws, they were features, inviting you to break free. You feel that pull now, don't you? The urge to dust off an emulator, test the old tricks. But beware, the deeper you go, the less certain reality gets. Was that shadow in the corner a new Pokémon, or a corrupted sprite? Did your Mew glitch really summon the real deal, or just a level 7 fluke? The iceberg thrives on that doubt, layer by layer. Consider the tech side because it grounds the madness. Game Boy cartridges held 32 megabits max, tiny by today's standards. No hard drives, no saves in the cloud. One bad encounter overwrites your progress. Developers cut corners, duplicate code for efficiency, pointers that assumed perfect play. English version? Even worse, with expanded text bloating memory. Result? Overflow errors galore. Bag slots bleed into Pokémon data, trainer flags trigger phantom battles. It's like the game was a house of cards, and fans were the breeze. Fan culture amplified it all. BBS boards in the 90s buzzed with .gbs files, corrupted saves traded like contraband. Zines printed maps to nowhere. Speedruns evolved from glitches, turning fragility into art. Even Nintendo nodded along. Remakes in fire red leaf green hid Easter eggs mocking the myths. Lava cookie under the truck? A wink to dreamers. But why Gen I specifically? Later gens patched hard. Gen 2 fixed most holes. By Sword and Shield, it's balanced chaos. No, the iceberg crowns red and blue because they were pure, unfiltered. You broke it, you owned it. That rush, your first Glitch City wonder, walls parting like the Red Sea, it's irreplaceable. As we plunge in, remember, truth floats high, fiction sinks low. Some layers will empower you, others will disappoint, revealing the Emperor's new glitch. Yet every level teaches something about code, community, the thrill of the unknown. You've chased badges before, now chase the breaks. And that starts right here, with the surface, the well-known wonders that kicked off the legend. Stick around, because what you'll uncover there changes how you see Pokémon forever. Wait, no, hold that thought. Before we hit the water, let's linger on why this fragility wasn't failure, but triumph. Game Freak delivered a phenomenon despite the odds. Over 30 million copies sold, franchise born. Glitches, collateral magic. They proved the game's soul. Emergent, alive, player forged. Take the Mew glitch, for instance, not the myth, the real deal. A trainer battle sequence gone wrong summons the mythical cat. Valid catch, no cheats. Fans reverse engineered it, turning event exclusive into accessible. That's the iceberg's promise. Power from imperfection. Deeper quirks await. Like battle bugs, where sleep clauses trap hyper beam recharges forever. Or item overflows, expanding your bag to absurd sizes. Variants of missing no. Ghosts like M, haunting the edges. Real but finicky, demanding precise timing, specific versions. Then the abyss. SS Anne's truck, pried with strength to reveal Mew. You tried it, didn't you? Nothing but dirt, pure myth, fueled by inaccessible grass nearby. Pokegods, fan art dreams, hidden maps, vaporware. Yet they endure because glitches made anything feel possible. This blend, fact and fable, is the iceberg's genius. It mirrors how we remember childhood. Hazy, heightened. You didn't just play, you mythologized. Now, armed with hindsight, we dissect it tier by tier. Feel the descent building? Surface glitches are your gateway drugs. Famous, reliable, game-altering. They'll hook you solid, prepping for the shadows below. You ready to breach? Because once you know the tip, the depths call louder. Surface. In the original Pokémon Red and Blue, there's a glitch that crashes right through the game's boundaries and hands you a Pokémon that shouldn't exist, missing no. This isn't some vague rumour. It's a hard fact triggered by a precise sequence anyone with a Game Boy could pull off back in 1999. You start in Viridian City, right after the old man gives you that beginner's tutorial on catching Pokémon. He's standing there by his house, rattling off instructions while you fiddle with your new balls. But here's where it gets wild. Talk to him. Let him show you how to catch a Weedle, then immediately exit the conversation without saving. Don't battle the Weedle, he points out. Just walk away. Now, pause the game and reset. Fly back to Viridian City. Yes, you need the Fly HM already, so you're probably mid-game at this point. Head straight to the old man's house again. This time, stand in the doorway, hold down the A button to talk, but hold B to cancel the text right. As it starts, you're swimming upstream against the game's dialogue engine here. Keep holding B, and slowly, letter by letter, walk out of the house while cancelling. You'll glitch the text buffer, the game's memory for holding those tutorial instructions. It's like leaving a half-written note smeared across the screen. The old man's garbled words, those partial letters from "Do you see that Weedle?" or whatever, they stick in RAM slot 0, overwriting the game's data for trainer names or wild encounters. You with me so far? Because this is the setup. That corrupted text buffer now poisons the encounter data wherever you go next. Pick any Pokémon in your party, doesn't matter which, and check its summary screen. You'll see the old man's gibberish overlaid on the nickname or OT name. That's your glitch activator primed. Now the real magic, fly to Cinnabar Island. Yeah, that gym badge island out east. Land on the gym roof if you can, or anywhere nearby. Grab Surf, your water Pokémon, and paddle along the eastern coast, right next to that rocky outcrop by the Pokémon Mansion. Surf up and down that strip, maybe 100-200 steps, letting the game's random encounter, RNG, tick over. Suddenly, boom, the battle screen fades in, and there's missing no. This blocky, angular mess of pixels staring back at you. What does it look like? Not some majestic bird or cute critter. Picture a default sprite smashed together. Arms from Kangaskhan, face from Raiden, body from a ghost type maybe. It's scrambled, half-formed, like the game barfed up its own source code. Catch it with any ball. Ultra Balls work best since it's level 0 or whatever junk value got loaded. And here's the first payoff. Your bag's 6th item slot explodes. Whatever's there, Master Balls, rare candies, it doesn't matter. Duplicates to 99 or 128, the max stack. Pokeballs turn into hundreds of the next item in sequence. It's infinite items, basically, as long as you don't overwrite that slot. But don't get greedy too fast. Save right after catching it, because the real chaos is just starting. Throw missing no into battle, even against a weak foe. Watch the sprite freak out, tiles from other Pokémon bleeding across the screen, colours inverting, the whole arena glitching like a bad TV signal. Worst of all, check your Hall of Fame later. You know that endgame roll call of your champion team? It's corrupted now. Faces smeared, names turned to static, levels reading impossible numbers. Some entries show missing no, itself mocking your save file. Save again after viewing it, and yeah, it's permanent. Your perfect clear is tainted forever. But players didn't run from this, they dove in headfirst. Think about it, 9/99, no internet walkthroughs for most kids. Forums like GameFAQs were just starting. Someone posts about this weird bird Pokémon on Cinnabar Beach, and suddenly threads explode. I got 99 Master Balls! My Charizard looks like a demon. It spread like wildfire through schoolyards and playground trades. The glitch wasn't random, it exploited how Gen I handles RAM overflows. Pokémon IDs go from 1 to 151, but the game reads beyond that into empty memory slots. 0 in hex is missing no, followed by Mon, the fossil Pokémon. Surfing cinnabar-loaded coastal water encounters, which pulled from that bad buffer, spawning the impossible. You might wonder, did Nintendo know? Probably not this specific chain. Gen.I was rushed over 50 major glitches shipped, but Missing No hit different. It wasn't just chaos, it was power. Duplicate those master balls, catch legendaries easy, stack rare candies, level grind in seconds. Pros started chaining it with other tricks, like the Safari Zone duplication for even safer items. And the community, this ignited everything. Glitch hunters formed on early sites, dissecting hex editors, reverse engineering the code. Speedrunners saw potential. Skip badges, warp maps. The first Pokémon speedrun world record. Heavy Missing No. Influence, shaving hours off any playthrough. Let me paint a picture with a story from the era. Kid named Glitch City on the old Neoseeker boards. I won't dox, but you can dig it up. Posted in March 99. Talked to the old man, glitched the buffer, surfed Cinnabar, caught Missing No. His screenshots showed the sprite meltdown, bag overflow. Skeptics called fake until videos hit. Within weeks, variants popped. Qinglong, the Chinese character mess from bad font data. Or driving the item dupe to crash the game entirely if you overfill. But the Hall of Fame corruption? That's the signature scar. View it, save, and your entries turn to garbage. Sprites with extra limbs, stats off the charts. Some say it bricks the save. Nah, just visual poison. Trade that glitched Mon, and it spreads the corruption to friends' games. Why Viridian to Cinnabar specifically? The fly warps reset encounter flags just right, and Cinnabar's east coast is one of few surf spots with low-level wilds that read the overrun data cleanly. Try it in Cerulean Cave early. Nada. Too many flags set. The precision-hooked obsessives. Forums birthed TS videos, tool-assisted speeds, pausing frame by frame to manipulate RNG for guaranteed spawns. Speedrunning.com lists Gen.I any % runs under 3 hours. All thanks to this lineage. Missing No wasn't alone. It paved for Mew Glitch, where you bait a trainer on Nugget Bridge, teleport mid-battle, and snag event-only Mew at level 7. Real deal, no truck myth needed, but Missing No sparked the fire. Pre-2000 Pokémon culture was glitches as folklore. Post-Missing No, it was science. Kids traded glitch eggs, hunted variants like Eero or FE, bag expansion let you hold 20 plus of anything, breaking economy. Communities like TS videos dissected it. Speedruns went pro on Twitch precursors. Even today, any % glitchless bans it. But no glitchless, mandatory. It showed early games as fragile sandcastles, overflow one buffer, topple the world. Ever tried it yourself? Fire up an emulator. Follow those steps. Feel that rush when the battle loads, heart pounding as pixels assemble into nothingness. That's the hook. Scrambled sprites aren't just bugs, they're portals. Item dupes feel like cheats unlocked. Hall corruption, a badge of honor for the bold. This surface glitch hid depths. Communities born from playground whispers, now Usport staples. And it didn't stop at Gen.I. Echoes in yellow, even gold with bad clone glitches. But Missing No was patient zero, proving fans could rewrite the rules. Glitch hunting exploded, Pokémon Stadium contests manipulated for skips, ditto trades for Wonder Guard abusers, speedrunning communities formalized, frame-perfect inputs, luck manipulation. All traced to that Viridian doorway. One more detail to seal it, the 6th slot obsession. Games read items linearly, glitch hits precisely there due to party summary overwrites. Fill slots 1-5 safe, 6 booms, 7-20 shift up. Chain catches, you're swimming in Safari balls or calcium. But View Hall post-glitch. Your rival's team shows as Missing No, Horde. Save, and it's etched. Some erased saves in panic. Smart ones backed up via Pokémon Stadium transfers. This was the surface breach. Real, replicable, revolutionary. It turned players into pioneers, glitches into gateways. But what lurks beneath? In the next chapter, depth, we plunge into lesser-known quirks that twist battles and bend reality in ways even glitch vets missed. You won't see these coming. Depth. You know that legendary Pokémon Mew, the one Nintendo locked away as an event-only prize back in the original Red and Blue? Turns out, fans cracked the code to summon it in the wild without waiting for a stadium demo or cheating devices. This is the Trainer Fly glitch, a genuine masterpiece of player discovery that lets you catch a level 7 Mew through nothing but precise timing and a bit of glitch hunting nerve. No Game Shark, no emulators, just pure Game Boy wizardry. Let's walk through exactly how you pull it off, step by step, because once you get this down, you'll feel like you've unlocked a secret level in your childhood favourite. First, you need to be in Kanto, specifically on Route 25, just north of Cerulean City, heading toward Bill's place. That's the long grass path before Nugget Bridge. Spot the trainer there, the youngster who's visible even from the bridge itself. He's the key. He's got a party that ends with a slowpoke at level 16 or 17, depending on your version. Battle him. Engage that fight like it's any other trainer skirmish. But here's where the magic kicks in. You don't finish the battle the normal way. As soon as he sends out his final Pokémon, that Slowpoke, you whip out a Pokémon that knows teleport. Abra works great for this. Level it up if you have to, but make sure it's holding the move. Spam teleport right then. The screen flickers, the battle glitches out, and you're warped back to the last Pokémon Center you visited, usually Cerulean. The fight ends prematurely, but that's the point. Something's been corrupted in the game's memory, primed for the payoff. Now head straight back. Fly if you want speed, but hoof it north across Nugget Bridge to that exact spot on Route 25 where the trainer was standing. Walk into the grass patch immediately to the right of where he battles, the one that's visible from the bridge. Boom! A wild Mew pops up at level 7, sprite and all. Throw a Pokeball, Ultra Ball, whatever you've got, and you've just caught the mythical ancestor of all Pokémon without Nintendo's permission. It sounds too good to be true, right? But thousands have done it. I've seen the clips myself, grainy Game Boy footage uploaded to YouTube where the screen warps, the grass rustles, and there it is, Mew breaking free before getting snagged. Why does this even work? It's all down to how the Game Boy handles trainer flags and encounter data. When you teleport out mid-battle, the game doesn't properly reset the trainer's scene status or the wild encounter table. It overflows into Mew's data ID, which was tucked away in the code, but never meant for normal access. Nintendo intended Mew for those real-world events, flying it in via special cartridges at Pokémon Stadium demos in Japan. No wild encounters, no trades, nada. But fans in the West, cut off from those events, reverse-engineered the ROMs and playground-tested every weird interaction until this sequence stuck. Contrast that with the cheats people tried first. Game genies and action replays were clunky, risking bricked saves or crashes. This glitch, it's clean, repeatable, and proves you don't need hardware hacks. It's fan ingenuity at its peak. Born from message boards like GameFAQs in the late 90s, where kids typed out, "Did this work for anyone else?" And suddenly, a community phenomenon exploded. Remember those dial-up nights poring over hex values? This was the payoff, turning rumour into reality. Let me paint the thrill for you. You're 8 years old, battery low on your Game Boy, heart pounding as you teleport out. Did it register? Race back, grass shaking, and yes, that tiny pink sprite darts across the screen. Mew using Transform, copying your lead Pokémon before you sack it. The satisfaction hits harder than beating the Elite Four, and the community backs it up hard. Check any long play speedrun on Twitch or classic glitch showcases on YouTube, and you'll find dozens of verified clips. One from 2006 shows a perfect execution in under 5 minutes. The catcher screaming in joy off mic. Forums like Smogon still have threads dissecting variations, with timestamps and version differences between Red and Blue, but it's not foolproof. Mess up the timing, teleport too early or too late, and you get nothing but a reset trainer battle or a crash to black. Do it wrong repeatedly, and your save might glitch minor stuff like Pokédex entries, but nothing game-breaking like missing no item dupes. That's the risk-reward that made it legendary. Players shared war stories. One guy on Reddit recalled burning through 3 saves before nailing it at midnight. Mew finally his. Another clip I love shows a group of friends in '98 passing the Game Boy around, cheering when it finally worked. This glitch didn't just give us Mew, it sparked a whole era of experimentation. Kids who mastered Trainerfly started hunting variants, like using it with different trainers for other anomalies. It contrasted sharply with the SS and truck myth we'd all fallen for first, that fake out where you'd push the truck expecting Mew underneath. Pure nostalgia bait, no code behind it. But Trainerfly? Hard data, reproducible results. It showed early Pokemon's code was fragile, full of buffer overflows waiting for clever fingers. Dig deeper into the history, and you find the credit goes to Japanese players initially spotting oddities around 1999. Then Westerners like Dwidite on glitch forums refining it. Videos from Pokédex completists in Europe prove it across regions, Mew transferable to stadium links without flags. Imagine trading that event Mew to a skeptical friend, watching their jaw drop. No lava cookie nod in remakes could touch this raw authenticity, and the validation keeps coming. Modern tools like Parquet checks verify those old Mew catches, matching the exact PID and level 7 stats. Speedrunners in Gen 1 any percent casually weave it in for Dex completion. Clips from Glitch City streams show side-by-side comparisons. Trainerfly succeeding where truck pushes fail hilariously. One viral video has over 1 million views. Split screen, left side myth busting the truck to empty dirt. Right side Mew popping in the grass. Comment sections explode with "I did this as a kid" stories. What makes this stand out in the glitch world? It's accessible. You don't need Safari Zone warps or Old Man glares. Just a mid-game team with teleport available after Rock Tunnel. Perfect for that post-cerulean grind. Try it on an unmodified cart today, and it'll work the same as '98. That's the beauty, timeless ingenuity over disposable cheats. Players pushed boundaries further. Some chained it with item dupes for Master Balls, catching Mew guaranteed. Others documented failure modes. Teleport on the first Pokémon sends you to Lavender instead, no glitch. Precision matters, turning casual players into pros. Community wikis now have flowcharts, but back then it was trial and error, playground dares. Feel that rush yet? You're not just hearing facts, you're reliving the discovery. That moment when the game bends to your will, proving fans outsmarted the devs. Mew wasn't untouchable, it was hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone bold enough. We've mastered the surface here with Trainerfly, but stick around because up next in the deep layer, we plunge into fan myths that blurred the line even further, like Pokegods and hidden evolutions that almost seemed real. You won't believe how close some rumours got to cracking the code for good. Before we dive deeper into this incredible journey, I'm curious, right? Where in the world are you watching this from? Drop a comment below and let our global community know. And if you're finding this as mind-blowing as I am, hit that like button to help more people discover this story. Deep layer. Ever tried warping out of the Safari Zone in Pokémon Red or Blue and ended up in a twisted hellscape of floating buildings and invisible barriers? That's Glitch City, one of the most infamous map corruptions in Gen I. And it's not just a bug, it's a portal to chaos that speedrunners and glitch hunters still exploit today. You start in the Safari Zone, that grassy maze in Fuchsia City, where you're tossing bait and rocks at Chansey and Rhyhorn. But here's the trick, you need exactly 500 steps on your counter. No more, no less. Bag the wrong Pokémon early, or wander too much, and you're sunk. Time it perfectly though, and when you hit the exit, instead of popping back to the entrance, the game freaks out. Coordinates glitch, memory overflows, and bam, you're dropped into Glitch City, in your head as I walk you through it. You're facing west in the Safari Zone house. Talk to the guy inside to leave, but because your step counter hit that magic 500, the warp tiles misfire. The screen flickers, tiles load wrong, and suddenly you're standing on a jumbled mess of Cinnabar gym floors, mixed with Route 15 paths and God knows what else. Skyscrapers poke through the ground at impossible angles, water you can't surf on laps at your feet, and trainers that shouldn't exist wander in limbo. It's like the game barfed up a rejected level from a cyberpunk Pokémon spin-off. Walk around and you'll see vending machines hovering mid-air, lampposts clipping through pavement, and empty black voids where maps should connect. One wrong step and you clip into nothingness. But why does this happen? Deep down, it's the NES's limited RAM screwing with map data. Gen I stores your position in bytes that overflow when the Safari timer glitches the counter. Instead of resetting properly, it loads invalid coordinates, pulling tiles from unused map slots. Glitch City isn't one fixed place. It shifts based on your party, items, and even the time of day. Sometimes it's mostly Cinnabar Island, stretched and warped. Other times bits of Pokémon Mansion bleed in, creating these eerie, half-formed streets. You feel like an intruder in the game's guts, right? Trainers might not battle, or if they do, their Pokémon have garbage stats. Catch one, and your box warps into a mess of invalid species. Now let's get to the real power move. Walk through walls. From Glitch City, your X accuracy, or another held item in the 6th slot can turn you into a ghost. Equip it, face a wall or obstacle, then hold down and B simultaneously while walking. The game thinks you're surfing or something invalid, so collision detection fails. You phase right through. Suddenly, out-of-bounds areas open up. Want to skip half the game? Walk through the stadium wall in this corrupted zone, and you can warp straight to the Indigo Plateau without badges. Or clip into Sylph Co early, grab the Master Ball before Giovanni even shows up. I've seen runs where players sequence break to the Elite Four with just a level 20 starter, all thanks to this. Let me break down a classic sequence break for you step by step, so you can try it yourself if you're brave. First, trigger Glitch City as we said. Once inside, navigate to the warped northwest corner, where the invisible gym roof meets the void. Hold the walk through walls inputs and slide north through the barrier. You'll emerge in a buffer zone, a limbo of raw data. Keep holding, face east and clip into what looks like Route 23. But you're not on Route 23, you're overlaid on Victory Road's entrance. From there, one more wall phase drops you inside the Pokémon League, badges be damned. The guards, they glitch out and let you pass. It's pure speedrun gold, shaving hours off any playthrough. Glitch hunters like Twitch streamer Linkus7 have videos of this pulling off 120 any% runs back in the day, turning a 10-hour game into a 90-minute sprint. You might think, okay, sounds fun, but here's the high-stakes gamble. Crashes lurk everywhere. Walk too far out of bounds, and the game freezes, your save corrupted beyond repair. Hit a bad tile connection, and it softlocks on a black screen. Worse, if your Hall of Fame has entries, walking through certain walls scrambles them into unrecognizable blobs. One player I read about on old GameFAQs forums pushed it too far, clipped into an unused map bank, and their entire ROM turned into a repeating crash loop. No warning, just poof, progress gone. It's why pros call it Russian roulette. Save states help in emulators, but on original hardware, you're betting your cartridge. That thrill though, that edge of your seat tension, keeps people coming back. Every step feels like defusing a bomb. Take this anecdote from the early 2000s speedrun community. A kid named Glitcher Kid posted on a Pokémon forum about chaining Glitch City into the Mew glitch for a no-hit Elite Four. He described swimming through phantom water, phasing past Lorelei's arena, only for his Pikachu to crash mid-Thunderbolt against Lance. Lost 3 hours of progress, but he nailed it on try 4, uploaded the video, and it blew up. That's the lore of Glitch City. Not just a glitch, but a proving ground. Pros map out safe paths, like hugging the southern warped beach to avoid the crash-prone east void. Even then, random factors like your Pokemon's cry data can destabilize tiles. It's unpredictable, alive almost. Expand on that demo a bit more, because the walk through walls has layers, not just sequence breaks. You can access dev leftovers. Phase south from the central plaza in Glitch City, and you hit an unused trainer class with invisible Pokémon. Battle them, and their movesets pull from garbage memory, sometimes. Firing Hyper Beam every turn or glitching Sleep turns infinite. One variant lets you duplicate Master Balls endlessly by clipping item data. But stack too many, overflow your bag to 255 and next save. Crash City, or try the advanced out of bounds. Walk through the northernmost wall into what speedrunners call the buffer. It's a straight shot to Cinnabar's unused basement, loaded with duplicate gym puzzles. Solve one wrong, and you're teleported to a black hole map that bricks your game. Ever wondered how far you can push it? Some hunters chain this with Missing No. Catch a glitch Pokémon first, then Glitch City. Your party buffer corrupts walls further, letting you phase into Saffron's copy protection screens early. Suddenly, you're dodging Mr. Mime trainers in a Sylph Co. that's half erased. Sequence break potential skyrockets. Skip Lavender Tower entirely. Warp to Seafoam Island's pre-surf. But the crash risk triples. Forums are full of war stories. Lost my childhood. Save to a stray Voltorb. It turns casual play into high-wire acts. You save every 2 steps, heart pounding, knowing one slip erases everything. This isn't theoretical. It's documented in TAS videos and WR leaderboards. The current Anisent record uses a Glitch City clip to grab 72 badges in under 2 hours. They demo it frame perfect, warp in, wall through the stadium east exit, buffer to Pokémon League lobby. No battles needed. But replicate it casually? Good luck. Input timing varies by emulator accuracy or hardware wear. Cart drift on old Game Boys makes walls semi-solid sometimes. It's that imperfection that makes it addictive. You feel the game's age, it seems splitting under pressure. Warn you again on the risks, because they're real and brutal. Beyond crashes, graphical glitches persist post-exit. Your overworld sprites might flicker or music loops wrong. Hall of Fame, often turned into a gallery of Missing No. Like blobs, names garbled into kanji soup. Worst case, it propagates, trade a glitched item, and the receiver's save destabilizes too. Nintendo never patched it officially, but yellow version toned down Safari steps. Still, purists stick to red-blue for the raw danger. It's why Glitch City embodies the Iceberg's surface chaos. Accessible, yet perilous, inviting you deeper. As you master these warps and phases, you start seeing the game's skeleton. Out of Bounds reveals map connections that developers hid or forgot. Like, Glitch City overlays perfectly with Future Gate, letting you skip the entire Safari area forever. Or phase into Route 19's underside, swim through invisible currents to Cinnabar without the coast. Sequence break stack, combine with Trainer Fly for Mew under Nugget Bridge early game. Your level 5 Squirtle solos. Misty? Possible, but push to the plateau too soon and the game's event flags freak. Rival battle triggers in wrong spots. Dialogue boxes overflow with trash text. It's a domino effect of instability. Let me paint one more vivid demo for you. You're in Glitch City Central, vending machine district. Hold down B, face the warped lamppost wall. Slide through. Emerge in a tile soup of Cerulean Cave pregame. Navigate the phantom ledges, no ladder needed, and clip east into Bill's house buffer. From there, one north phase drops you in Oak's lab, with all 151 somehow flagged court. Lie, but the menu glitches to show it. Exit wrong though, and ROM corruption hits. High stakes, right? That gamble fuels endless experimentation. Communities thrive on this. Reddit's R Pokémon glitches has threads dissecting safe routes, crash predictors based on RAM states. Tools like Glitch City mapper the madness. Yet no map's perfect. entropy rules. You enter as explorer, leave as survivor, or don't. You've surfed these corrupted waves, phased through forbidden walls, but what lurks when you dive past even Glitch City's edge? In Chapter 5, Abyss, we plunge into voids no one's mapped, where the game's code unravels completely. Stick around, you won't believe what waits in the dark. Abyss. What if I told you that in the original Pokémon games, a single status condition could completely bypass one of the most punishing move mechanics ever designed? Welcome to the Abyss, where Generation 1 battle glitches turn competitive play into a chaotic web of exploits that no patch could ever fully fix. We're talking sleep clauses colliding head-on with Hyper Beam's infamous recharge turn, creating opportunities for players to dominate opponents in ways the developers never intended. Let's break this down step by step, because once you understand it, you'll never look at a standard Pokémon battle the same way again. In Gen 1, Hyper Beam is a nuclear option. It deals massive damage, but the user has to skip their next turn entirely to recharge. No moves, no switching, nothing. It's a high-risk play that smart trainers avoid unless they can guarantee a knockout. But here's where things get weird. Sleep in Gen 1 lasts for 1 to 7 turns, chosen randomly, and it's a total lockdown, no actions possible. Competitive players adopted a gentleman's agreement called the Sleep Clause. Only one of your opponent's Pokémon can be asleep at a time. Violate it, and you forfeit the respect of the community. But the game itself doesn't enforce any of this. It's all player-driven. Now imagine you're in a heated link battle. Your opponent fires off Hyper Beam from their Dragonite, nearly wiping your squad. They expect to recharge safely on the next turn. But you have a plan. You switch in a Pokémon with a reliable sleep move, like Hypnosis or Sleep Powder. It lands the sleep status right as their Dragonite is about to recharge. What happens next? In a normal game, their Pokémon would just sit there, helpless. But Gen 1's code has a glitchy interaction here. The recharge flag, the thing that forces the skip turn, gets overridden if the Pokémon enters a sleep state during that precise window. Suddenly, their Dragonite wakes up on the very next opportunity and acts immediately, as if the recharge never happened. No penalty, they get a free follow-up attack. You might be thinking, wait, doesn't that help the Hyper Beam user? Not always. The real exploitation comes from the defender's side. Picture this, you're the one using Hyper Beam. You blast their team, but they put you to sleep on your recharge turn. Because sleep takes priority in the status priority queue, the game treats the recharge as interrupted. When your Pokémon finally shakes off the sleep, often just one turn later, boom, you're back in action without having recharged at all. It's like hitting the reset button on Hyper Beam's downside. Trainers started chaining this deliberately. Use Hyper Beam, bait the sleep, wake up, repeat. In competitive circles, this clashed hard with the sleep clause. If you sleep their recharger to skip it, you're burning your one sleep slot. But if they sleep you first, game over for their clause adherence. This wasn't theoretical. Players documented it in early forums and battle logs from the 90s. One famous anecdote from a veteran Link battler named Glitcher87 described a tournament where he baited sleep on his Snorlax after Hyper Beam, forcing the opponent to either break the clause or switch out their sleeper, leaving it vulnerable. He swept 3 matches in a row. The glitch stemmed from sloppy priority handling in the battle engine. Statuses like Sleep, Freeze and Paralysis all jostle for control flags, and Recharge is just another flag that loses out. You could even stack it with other statuses for wild combos, but Sleep was the king because of its duration variability. Why does this matter to you? Because it forced the meta to evolve around mind games. Trainers had to predict not just moves, but these glitch interactions, turning every Hyper Beam into a psychological trap. But the Abyss goes deeper. Let's shift to the Safari Zone, that quirky minigame where captures feel like a luck-based fever dream. No battles, just throwing Safari balls, bait or rocks at wild Pokémon. Bait calms them, lowering catch rate but reducing flee chance. Rocks enrage them, boosting catch rate but making them bolt faster. Sounds straightforward, right? Wrong. Gen 1 Safari Zone hides ball-throwing exploits that border on cheating. The core issue is the turn-based throwing system interacts poorly with the zone's invisible boundaries and step counters. Here's the exploit you need to know. Positioning glitches for infinite or guaranteed throws. In the Safari Zone, each step you take advances an internal turn timer. Pokémon have a flee rate that ticks up every turn, calculated based on their species, your actions, and RNG. But if you hug certain walls or corners, like the northwest edge of the central area, you can trigger a step duplication glitch. Your character appears to move, but the game registers multiple steps at once, advancing the flee timer wildly while keeping the Pokémon stationary. Trainers exploited this to throw endless Safari balls without the target fleeing. You'd bait first to reset the anger counter, then glitch step to spam balls. Catch rates skyrocketed because the game couldn't process the throws fast enough, leading to overflows where the capture math broke. Even crazier were the false swipe precursors. False swipe, that Gen 2 move that always leaves foes at 1 HP, didn't exist yet. But Safari players invented a workaround using rocks. Throwing a rock deals a tiny bit of damage, about 10% of max HP, without fainting the Pokémon. Normal wild encounters faint on low HP, but Safari logic treats it differently. They just get angrier. Smart players would rock repeatedly to whittle HP down to sliver territory, then bait to calm and ball. The glitch? Rock damage ignores the standard HP flooring. In some RNG seeds, you could drop a high HP Dratini to exactly 1 HP without it fleeing, mimicking perfect IV control. Combine this with the positioning exploit, and you'd farm legendaries like Venonat or Execute at 100% rates. One documented run from a 1999 glitch hunt video showed a player catching a Scyther this way in under 30 steps. They'd glitch the wall, rock 3 times to near death, bait once, then spam balls during the duplicated turns. The Pokémon never stood a chance. Why precursors to false swipe? Game Freak clearly took notes. Later games formalized low HP captures, but in Gen 1, this was pure exploit artistry. It spilled over into regular play too. Players transferred these glitched low HP mons to their main teams for battle advantages, like testing moves without KO risk. These quirks didn't stay confined to solo play. They reshaped the competitive meta in profound ways before any real patches arrived. Because Gen 1 never got patches on the original hardware, Link battle communities like those on early GameFAQs and Nintendo Power Letters had to self-regulate. Hyper Beam sleep skips became a banned strategy in strict tournaments, labelled recharge abuse. Organisers enforced video proof for suspicious wins. Safari exploits flooded trade scenes with perfect catches, devaluing legit ones and sparking glitch bans on traded Pokémon. You had to declare if your team used Safari glitch transfers or risk disqualification. Take the infamous Abyss Ladder tournaments of 1998, pieced together from archived battle reports. Top players built teams around sleep baiters like Parasect or Venonat. Ironic, since those came from Safari farms. A Dragonite with Hyper Beam would force switches, eating the opponent's sleep slot, then recharge skip on wake up for a second nuke. Meanwhile, glitched low HP leads from Safari acted as revenge killers, surviving chip damage to full swipe precursors via status spam. The meta shifted from raw power to glitch prediction. Blissey walls became mandatory to tank recharge baits, and Jinx sleepers dominated because their speed let them land hypnosis before the TR skip. But it wasn't all wins. Misjudge the timing, and your Hyper Beam user stays recharging forever while asleep, handing free turns. Safari transfers sometimes corrupted movesets, turning a perfect Tauros into a glitched mess that confused moves. The community fractured. Purists banned everything, while glitch enthusiasts formed underground metas where these were mandatory. This era birthed speedrunning categories like glitchless versus any percent, and influenced Gen 2's tighter coding. No more recharge skips, Safari overhauled. You can see the ripples today. Modern competitive bans on sleep clauses evolved directly from Gen 1 abuse. False swipe owes its existence to those rock whittles. Even ROM hackers recreate these for fun challenges. Players like Twitch streamer Poke Glitchmaster still demo them live, pulling in thousands of viewers who gasp at the impossibility. What you're hearing isn't just trivia, it's the raw, unfiltered chaos that made Pokemon's underbelly legendary. We've unpacked how sleep clauses crumbled against Hyper Beam's recharge, delved into Safari Ball spam and those clever HP teases, and seen how they warped battles forever. But hold on, because as wild as this gets, it's still just scratching the surface of the void. Up next in the true depths, we plunge into glitches so obscure and reality-bending, they'll make you question if Pokemon was ever stable at all. What lies down there could shatter your nostalgia completely. Stick around. I hope you're as amazed by this as I am. If you want to stay updated on more content like this, make sure to subscribe and join our community of curious minds. Trust me, what's coming next will challenge everything you thought you knew. The true depths missing No wasn't the only glitch Pokemon lurking in the shadows of Generation 1. Dive deeper, and you encounter its twisted siblings born from the same corrupted code, creatures like Ghost Missing No, and a horde of Hex ID abominations that make the original look tame. These aren't just random errors, they're the game's desperate attempts to render data that shouldn't exist, pulling sprites and stats from the void. Let's start with You get this one by tweaking the old man glitch just right. After the fishing tutorial in Viridian, you fly to Cinnabar, surf east, but instead of stopping at the standard spot, you push the boundaries. Maybe dip into a specific water tile or chain a few encounters. Suddenly, instead of Missing No's jumbled mess, your game spits out MM. Its name glitches halfway between an M and a blank space, like the code's too embarrassed to finish. Catch it and watch the chaos unfold. This thing doesn't just duplicate your 6th item, it warps your entire bag. Master Balls? They'll multiply into the hundreds, but so will junk like Pokédolls, or even glitch items that crash your save if you're not careful. But has a signature move that's pure nightmare fuel: Fossil Fusion. Revive a fossil at Cinnabar Gym, say the Dome Fossil for Kabuto, and if you've got in your party beforehand, something snaps. The revived Pokemon doesn't come out right. Kabuto might fuse with M's Delta, turning into a hulking abomination with Missing No's scrambled sprite layered over its shell. Attacks? Forget Hydro Pump. You're firing glitched beams that freeze the game mid-animation or teleport wild Pokemon into your box. Players back in the day reported their Omanite emerging as a ghostly hybrid, flipping between valid sprites and pure static. One forum post from '98 described it as Kabuto eating Missing No. From the inside out. You try this yourself, and your heart races. Will it work, or will your Game Boy brick? Then there's Ghost Missing No, the spectral variant that haunts the Safari Zone. To summon it, you need the Safari exit glitch layered with precise steps. Enter the zone, catch nothing, exit wrong, warp to Glitch City first, then backtrack through a wall into the Safari grass tiles that don't exist. Battle starts, and bam, Ghost Missing No appears. No sprite at all, just an invisible foe with cries that sound like distorted Pidgey, screeches echoing from hell. Its stats? Randomized hell, HP in the thousands, attacks pulling from unused movesets. Catch it, and it vanishes from your party like it was never there, but leaves behind ghost items. Your bag overflows with invisible slots, letting you hold way more than 20 per category. Poke around your inventory post-catch, and you'll find duplicates stacking infinitely, as if the game forgot how to count. These Hex ID abominations take it further. Mess with the game's memory using item underflow or party tricks, and you unlock IDs from FF to C0 in Hex, dozens of them. There's 0x0r0, a blank slate that flips every sprite in battle upside down. Send out your starter and suddenly Pikachu's fighting on its head, animations inverting like a mirror world. Or 0xxv, the blocky missing no, a pixelated cube that crashes sound channels, turning your epic theme into a looping buzz. Each one has quirks tied to how the game reads RAM. One player documented SRXFB. It fuses with traded Pokémon, corrupting their OT names into strings of hearts and question marks. Battle it, and your opponent's moveset inverts. Flamethrower becomes a water attack, or vice versa. How does the code even allow this? Early Pokemon's engine treated invalid IDs as overflow buffers, grabbing garbage data from the stack. You trigger one, and it's like opening Pandora's box. Take sprite flips as another hallmark. Ghost missing? No, loves this trick. After catching it, reload your save, and every overworld sprite inverts colours. Viridian Forest turns sickly green. Your rival's palette swaps to pastels. It's not permanent, but fly to a new route, and the glitch cascades. Townspeople walk backward, grass rustles in reverse. One kid in the 90s swore his Blastoise flipped during a gym battle, spraying water upward off-screen. These aren't bugs you fix with a reset. They embed in your save data, mutating with each load. You feel it, that thrill of power mixed with dread. Have you broken the game, or has it broken you? Now let's talk bag overflow, the real game changer these variants enable. Missing no gives you the basics. Select the 6th item, fly away, come back, duplicate city. But with M or hex variants, you shatter limits entirely. Catch one, and your bag expands. Normally, 20 items per slot, 99 max quantity. Post-glitch, slots multiply. I've seen saves with 255 Master Balls because the counter wrapped around. Chain it right, duplicate a bike, then underflow with rare candies, and your inventory becomes infinite storage. Want endless revives, overflow the medicine pocket until it bleeds into TM slots. The trick, bag overflow exploits the game's array bounds. When you catch these abominations, they overwrite item data pointers, stretching your bag into unused RAM. Suddenly you're hoarding 999 of everything, turning a 99 capture Pokédex run into child's play. But it's not all freebies, overflow too hard, and items glitch into bad clones, but select one, and your game freezes mid-trade or softlocks in the PC. Documented cases from glitch hunters show entire bag slots becoming hex garbage. Items named TH that heal for 65,535 HP, but crash wild battles. You experiment, duplicating a moonstone, and next thing you know, your Clefairy evolves into a Clayfable with missing Nautica's cry. Infinite items mean infinite experimentation, but also infinite risk. Speedrunners abused this for any cent records, stocking revives to cheese Elite Four, but casual players lost weeks of progress to corrupted boxes. Picture chaining these together. Start with Old Man for missing no, duplicate Master Balls, surf for Emmy, fuse a fossil for a glitch Monami, hit Safari for Ghost, overflow TMs into infinite coverage. Your party, a rainbow of abominations, upside-down Venusaurs, invisible psychics, blocky legendaries. Battles turn surreal, opponents' attacks whiff because sprites clip out of bounds. The Hall of Fame? Pure art. Charizard with M's face, times corrupted to 65,535-65. You laugh at first, then paranoia sets in. Is that static in the corner, the game glitching, or your save dying? These mid-depth horrors sparked dedicated communities. Forums like Glitch City Central catalogued over 50 variants by 2000, each with hex triggers. One hunter, Glitch 0xFF, shared a save state where Fossil M fused with Aerodactyl, creating Skell Missing No, a bony frame with flipping wings that phase through trainers. Try duplicating it via bag overflow, and you get airborne item dupes, raining Pokeballs from the sky in-game. Wild, right? But why does this happen? Gen 1's code lacked bounds checking. Pokemon IDs were single bytes, so FF loops back to EO0 seamlessly. Abominations aren't mistakes. They're the engine's raw underbelly exposed. You might wonder, can you stabilize them? Some did. Trader, Ghost Missing, Nocate to Yellow version, and it manifests a faint outline, cries intact. Overflow in Stadium, and glitches persist across links. But push too far, say fuse multiple fossils, and your ROM checksum fails, save unreadable. Veterans advise backups, but back then, pure gamble. One story sticks. A player overflowed with 999 Helix fossils, revived them all into an army of screaming Kabuto. Game lagged to 1 FPS, but he beat the league before it bricked. These variants redefined glitch hunting. No longer surface scratches, your plumbing code depths, where every hex tweak births a new beast. M's Fusion turns fossils into Frankensteins. Ghost's Invisibility mocks your senses. Hex flips reality. Bag Overflow. Your ticket to God mode. Infinite resources at Overflow's edge. You've felt the surface buzz of missing no. Now this mid-depth plunge shows the family's full freak show. Hold that thought, because what comes next in surfacing will drag these depths into even stranger lights. Secrets that bridge glitches to outright impossibilities, waiting just below. You ready to surface? Surfacing. What if I told you that one single encounter could turn your measly handful of items into an endless arsenal, enough to catch every legendary without breaking a sweat? In the mid-depths of Pokémon Red and Blue glitches, we're talking item duplication mastery. Specifically, exploiting that infamous 6th slot in your bag. This isn't some vague rumour. It's a precise mechanic tied directly to missing no, and speedrunners still swear by it today. You ready to farm Master Balls like a pro? Let's break it down step by step, so you can do it flawlessly without turning your save into a total mess. First things first, you need prerequisites locked in. You've got to have the HM for Surf and Fly unlocked, because this dance takes you across Kanto. Head to Viridian City, that bustling hub early in the game. Make sure your Pokémon team is solid. No fainting risks here. Now walk into the house in the northwest corner, the one with the old man who's itching to give you a catching lesson. This guy is your glitch gateway. Approach him and hit A to start the conversation. He'll ramble about how to catch Pokémon, then demonstrate by throwing a Pokeball at a wild Weedle on screen. Watch closely. The ball wiggles once, twice, and on the third wiggle, that's your cue. Mash B furiously to speed through his dialogue box. Don't let him finish his sentence about you trying it yourself. As the text scrolls, hold up on the D-pad and walk straight out the northern door of the house. Timing is everything here. If you exit too soon, nothing glitches. Too late, and you're stuck listening to his lecture. Nail it, and boom, the game's encounter memory gets overwritten with garbage data from his demo. You won't notice anything weird yet. Your game acts normal. Now fly straight to Cinnabar Island. Stand on the eastern shore, right at the bottom of that single ledge overlooking the water. Equip Surf to a Pokémon, hop on, and paddle north along the coast. Stay as close to the land as possible, surfing up and down that thin strip. After a few steps, usually 2 to 4, you'll trigger a wild encounter. Not Pidgey or Tentacle. Your screen flickers, sprites warp, and there it is. Missing no. A blocky bird abomination, or one of its cousins like M or Kangaskhan K. The cry sounds like a distorted screech, and the stats are all over the place. Catch it. Throw a regular Pokeball, it barely fights back, but here's the magic. Whatever item sat in the 6th position of your bag gets cloned to 99 copies. That's the dupe exploit at its core. The game multiplies it to max stack because missing Noted's data overruns the item counter. Escape the battle after the catch or let it faint if you're risky. Check your bag. If you slotted a Master Ball there, congrats. You've got 99 of the rarest ball in the game. One became a lifetime supply. But mastery means control, right? You don't stop at one. That beach is crawling with glitch Pokémon variants. Surf back and forth, and you'll hit different ones. Fossil Pokémon, like Omanite with scrambled names, or blocky evolutions. Each encounter dupes your 6th slot again, refreshing the stack to 99. To farm efficiently, cycle your items smartly. Say you want rare candies for leveling, or calcium for EV abuse. Before each dupe run, Step 1, open your bag, note your current 6th item. Step 2, move it temporarily to another slot if needed. Step 3, place the target item, Master Ball say, in the exact 6th spot. First page, 6th from the top. No submenus, no key items. Step 4, repeat the old man glitch to reset encounter data. You have to redo it every time, because the glitch flag clears after one encounter. Step 5, fly back, surf, catch, dupe, rinse and repeat. In under 10 minutes, you can stockpile hundreds across multiple slots by swapping post-dupe. Pro tip, do the old man steps flawlessly, practice on a junk save first. If you mess up the exit timing, you'll just get normal water Pokémon, wasting time. Now why Master Balls specifically? They're endgame gold. No fail catches mean you snag Mewtwo, Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres on sight. No Ultra Balls, no resets. In speedruns, this is huge. Current world record holders for Gen 1, any percent glitchless or glitch abuse categories use 6th slot dupes to grab legendaries in seconds, bypassing hours of grinding. Even in modern tournaments like those run by speedrun.com, you'll see runners duping Master Balls early, then chaining them for 151 catches in record time. It's not banned, it's strategy. One dupe session can cut your Mewtwo hunt from risky battles to guaranteed grabs, shaving minutes off personal bests. But hold up, there's a twist you won't see coming if you're greedy. Everyone warns about total save deletion, like missing no, is a virus wiping your cartridge clean. That's the myth. Reality? Overuse corrupts subtly, like a creeping shadow. Catch too many, say, 10 or 20 without breaks, and your Hall of Fame entries glitch first. Victory Road replays show warped sprites, Pokémon turning into fossils or blocks. Harmless visually, but annoying. Push further, and bag glitches deepen. Item quantities overflow oddly. 99 becomes 255 internally, but displaying glitches counters. Worse, your overworld sprites corrupt. Suddenly your trainer walks backward. NPCs fuse into walls, or wild encounters spawn mid-text box. Save data doesn't erase, no blue screen of death. It's the backup RAM bleeding over. Gen 1 saves to battery-backed RAM, and repeated glitching overwrites, adjacent bytes subtly. Prof Oak's Pokémon might rename to gibberish. Battle transitions lag. Freezes pop up randomly. It's not game over, but your save warps into a haunted version of Kanto. Release the glitchmons immediately after catching to minimize it. They vanish from your PC, but the corruption lingers. I once pushed it on a red cart, duping 50 times for fun. Hall of Fame became a gallery of missing no portraits. Viridian forest paths led to void areas. Still beat the Elite Four, but surfing Cinnabar felt like navigating a nightmare. Subtle, yes. Your progress intact, but the world's fabric frays. That's the real risk. Not loss, but a tainted adventure. Mastering this means balance. Do 3 dupes max per session, fly elsewhere, save normally. Swap to a clean slot for legendaries only. Speedrunners do exactly that. Calculated hits, then pristine runs. Tournaments verify no excessive corruption. Judges check Hall of Fame post-run. It's still meta because the payoff crushes the peril. Think about it. This glitch sparked communities. Forums dissected every variant. There's 40 plus missing no, like Pokémon, on that beach, each duping uniquely. One called High looks like a hyperactive blob. Another LR mimics birds. Experiment, slot different items, track effects. Master Ball farming is king, but dupe TMs for infinite strength or earthquake, or berries for PP maxing. You pull this off and suddenly you're God mode. Catch Mew via Trainerfly glitch, Master Ball it clean. Safari Zone skips, duped bait for Dratini. It's mid-depth power, bridging surface quirks to deeper chaos. Ever wonder how far players pushed for perfection? Speedrun leaderboards show it. Sub 3 hour Gen 1 runs hinge on 6th slot precision. One mistimed old man exit, and you're back to square one. Modern emulators recreate it pixel perfect for practice. Tournaments in 2023 still feature live carts, proving the glitch endures. But why does it even work? Gen 1's code reads encounter tables linearly. Old Man's demo hijacks the last court flag, shoving invalid ID 127, missing no, into your next wild read. Item dupe, bag data sits adjacent in RAM. Catch triggers quantity bump, unchecked overflow. Nintendo never patched. Yellow tweaks it slightly, but red-blue are pure. Try it yourself, safely. New save, dupe once, feel the rush. That stack of 99 hits different. Questions race. How many can you chain before corruption bites? What's your record farm? As we surface from these exploitable depths, glitches blending into legend, one truth crystallizes. The Iceberg's real power wasn't breaking the game, but how it forged unbreakable player bonds. Stick around. The final layer reveals why these tales endure, and the ultimate lesson no rumor can touch. In the early days of Pokémon, glitches weren't just bugs, they were the stuff of legend. A glitch wasn't simply a frustrating error in the game, it was an invitation to uncover the mysteries of the code, a puzzle that invited gamers to bend reality. Pokémon Red and Blue, the originals that kicked off the franchise in 1996, were not exactly the polished titles we think of today. Created by a small team of developers working on a tight budget, the games were riddled with coding oversights, memory limitations, and untested corner cases. These imperfections were far from unnoticed. Soon, dedicated fans began to share their discoveries, and what started as a small group of gamers quickly grew into a vibrant and ever-expanding community. Early glitch hunters didn't have the convenience of online walkthroughs or wikis. They relied on forums, text-based chat rooms, and word of mouth. Yet despite these primitive communication tools, their passion for uncovering every secret hidden in the game led to the birth of a unique subculture. These glitch hunters were driven not by the desire to break the game, but by a deep curiosity about the mechanics underlying the gameplay. The fascination with Pokémon's code became a way to better understand the world of Kanto and the Pokémon universe as a whole. The role of game facus and neo-seeker. As the Pokémon games gained in popularity, glitch hunters started to congregate online. The internet in the late 90s and early 2000s was an odd place, a mix of early web browsers, slow dial-up connections, and primitive websites. Yet it was the perfect environment for the birth of glitch communities. The two platforms that played the most pivotal role in this were GameFAQs and Neoseeker. Both sites, founded in the late 90s, allowed users to post guides, FAQs, and message board discussions, creating a hub for Pokémon enthusiasts to gather and share their findings. GameFAQs in particular became a breeding ground for glitch hunters. Players would post detailed explanations of their discoveries, including step-by-step guides on how to activate each glitch. Missing No, one of the most famous glitches of all time, gained a legendary status in the Pokémon community, but it was through GameFAQs that the methods of activating Missing No were spread like wildfire. These forums allowed glitch hunters to collaborate, refine their techniques, and share their passion for breaking down the game's underlying mechanics. For many, the early GameFAQs forums were like a treasure chest of Pokémon lore. Players could submit their findings, read others' experiments, and discuss new theories. This collaborative environment was key to the evolution of glitch hunting, as users learned to share and expand upon each other's ideas. Neoseeker, with its active Pokémon board, offered a similar experience, drawing in a different subset of players who were also keen to uncover the hidden truths of the games. With the advent of these platforms, Pokémon glitch hunting entered a golden age, fostering a sense of shared discovery and community spirit, from playground myths to documented science. Before the internet, many glitches in Pokémon were little more than playground myths, stories of a hidden Mew under a truck or the discovery of a new legendary Pokémon would spread across schoolyards and friend groups like wildfire. But the digital age changed everything. With the rise of GameFAQs and NeoSeeker, these playground legends were finally put to the test. Take, for instance, the Mew glitch. Prior to the widespread sharing of information on these forums, the Mew under the truck myth was considered by many to be just another tall tale. Yet once players started sharing their findings online, the glitch was revealed to be a real, reproducible exploit. The Mew glitch worked not because of some hidden secret in the game world, but due to a quirk in how the game managed trainers and battles. By following a specific sequence of actions, battling a particular trainer, using the right moves and then triggering an encounter at the right spot, players could summon the elusive level 7 Mew, turning the myth into reality. This transition from rumor to reality was significant. It turned Pokémon glitches from mere folklore into a structured, scientific study of game mechanics. Every glitch was dissected in meticulous detail. Step-by-step instructions were posted, and each glitch was tested for consistency and reliability. What was once considered a chance occurrence and accident became a core aspect of the Pokémon community, celebrated for its ingenuity and creativity. The rise of speedrunners and TAS, tool-assisted speedruns. As glitches became better understood, they began to play a larger role in competitive Pokémon. Glitch hunting evolved from a casual hobby to a competitive sport with the rise of speedrunning. Speedrunners, those who sought to complete games as quickly as possible, quickly realized that glitches could be used to shave off valuable seconds, sometimes even minutes, from a run. The impact of glitches on Pokémon speedrunning cannot be overstated. A major part of any Pokémon speedrun, especially for the original Red and Blue games, revolves around manipulating the game's code in creative ways. Missing No, duplication exploits, item cloning, and trainer fly all became essential tools in the arsenal of Pokémon speedrunners. These strategies were not only about breaking the game, they were about optimizing every interaction to achieve the fastest possible time. The first world records in Pokémon speedrunning were largely reliant on these glitches. A key evolution in the speedrunning world was the advent of tool-assisted speedruns, TAS. TAS allows for the precise manipulation of the game's inputs, letting players achieve impossible feats of precision and skill. TAS became an important resource for studying glitches in Pokémon. By using TAS to recreate glitches with pinpoint accuracy, glitch hunters and speedrunners could test the limits of the game, uncovering even more obscure and complex glitches in the process. What's fascinating is how the Pokémon glitch community and the speedrunning community intertwined. Speedrunners were often glitch hunters, and glitch hunters often became speedrunners. The two groups shared the same underlying goal: mastery of the game's internal mechanics. Speedrunning, driven by glitches, became a new form of competitive play, pushing players to not only complete the game in record time, but to exploit every available glitch to make that goal attainable. Legacy of Pokémon. Glitch communities. The influence of early glitch communities extends far beyond their time. Even today, the legacy of these pioneers can be felt in modern gaming communities. Forums like Glitch City Central and websites dedicated to glitch hunting continue to thrive, with new generations of players discovering old glitches and inventing new ones. Glitch hunting has become a central part of Pokémon culture, with glitches integrated into the game's very mythology. Perhaps one of the most significant contributions of the glitch community is how it has influenced the broader gaming world. Pokémon fans were among the first to embrace the idea of a game being broken, not as a flaw, but as a form of creative expression. This philosophy has carried over into the broader gaming world, where speedruns, mods, and ROM hacks continue to challenge developers' intentions. What started as a simple curiosity about Pokémon's coding errors evolved into a deep and meaningful exploration of the game's limits, shaping how we view and interact with games to this day. Moreover, glitch hunting and speedrunning have now entered the mainstream. Speedruns of Pokémon games are regularly streamed on platforms like Twitch and YouTube, attracting thousands of viewers who cheer on players as they manipulate the game's code with lightning-fast precision. Events like Games Done Quick, which raises money for charity through speedrunning, often feature Pokémon glitches, demonstrating just how much of a cultural impact these glitches have had over the years. The evolution of Pokémon glitch hunting communities is a testament to the creativity, ingenuity, and passion of gamers. From the early days of playground myths to the rise of speedrunning and TAS, these communities have shaped the way we understand and interact with the Pokémon games. The exploration of glitches became more than just a pastime. It became a cultural movement, one that continues to influence gaming culture today. As we look back at the history of these communities, it's clear that glitches were never just about breaking the game. They were about pushing the limits of what was possible, about finding the magic hidden in the game's code. Glitch hunting communities were, and continue to be, a celebration of discovery, curiosity, and the joy of exploration. To understand why Pokémon Red and Blue were riddled with so many glitches, we must first explore the limited technical resources the developers had at their disposal. The Game Boy, which ran the original Pokémon games, had only 8 KB of RAM and a CPU that was far slower than anything we're used to today. In an era when even basic handheld gaming systems had minimal processing power, Game Freak, then a tiny, relatively inexperienced developer, was tasked with cramming a vast world filled with hundreds of Pokémon, dozens of items, and an entire region into a tiny 32 megabit cartridge. The limitations of the Game Boy's hardware created challenges that shaped how the game was coded. With such a tiny amount of memory to work with, Game Freak had to rely on some rather risky methods to fit everything into the game. Memory had to be reused constantly. The game engine had to make assumptions about how players would interact with the game, and much of the code was written with the expectation that players wouldn't take the game to its limits. Unfortunately, in a game as complex as Pokémon, this meant that the slightest deviation from the expected could cause serious problems. For instance, if a player surfed at the wrong location or triggered a rare battle event in an unintended sequence, the game's memory could overflow, producing a variety of glitches. Missing No, the most famous Pokémon glitch, is the result of one such overflow. Breaking down the code. At its core, Pokémon Red and Blue relied on a number of systems to run the game. The Pokémon Battle Engine, the mapping system for the region, the inventory system, and many more. Each of these systems had to work together perfectly, but small oversights in one area often cause ripple effects throughout the rest of the game. Take, for example, the way Pokémon IDs were handled in the original games. The game was designed to recognize Pokémon by a unique ID number ranging from 1 to 151, the number of Pokémon in the first generation. However, because the game's memory was so limited, the developers had to reuse memory slots to store not just Pokémon data, but also data for items, moves, and even battle mechanics. Pokémon IDs weren't stored in a simple array. Rather, they were stored in memory locations that the game expected to be filled with valid data. When the game encountered an unexpected memory address, it would often load a piece of data that wasn't intended to be displayed, resulting in a visual glitch or even the appearance of a corrupted Pokémon like Missing No. This phenomenon is most clearly seen in Missing No, the glitch Pokémon that can be encountered by performing a very specific set of actions. By using the Old Man glitch in Viridian City, players were able to trigger a bug in the game's memory management. When they flew to Cinnabar Island and surfed along the eastern coast, the game tried to load a wild Pokémon encounter, but instead of pulling a valid Pokémon from the list, it pulled from a memory location that didn't contain a real Pokémon ID. This error resulted in the appearance of Missing No, a garbled, half-formed creature that didn't belong in the game at all, yet could be captured and interacted with. Missing No wasn't the only glitch in the game caused by memory mismanagement. In fact, the entire game was a fragile ecosystem of code and data that, when pushed beyond its limits, would break apart. The game's random encounter system, the battle mechanics, the item system, all of these elements were interconnected in such a way that a small change in one area could lead to massive cascading failures in others. The Mew glitch, another famous exploit, worked in a similar fashion, relying on a memory manipulation involving trainer flags and encounter data. Data overflow and corruption. One of the key causes of these glitches was something called data overflow. In simple terms, data overflow occurs when a program attempts to store more data than the allotted space allows. In the case of Pokémon, this happened frequently due to the game's limited memory. For example, the game would try to load a wild Pokémon encounter based on the player's location in the game world. However, if the game tried to load a Pokémon from a memory slot that was outside the valid range of Pokémon IDs, such as a location filled with empty, uninitialized data, it would pull something that shouldn't exist. This is where the glitches came in. Take Missing No as a prime example of how data overflow leads to unpredictable results. The glitch itself was caused by the game trying to load data from a non-existent Pokémon ID slot. The game's memory would bleed over into an area of data that wasn't meant to be read as a Pokémon, and this would create a broken, malformed creature like Missing No. Players could encounter this glitch by performing a specific sequence of actions that forced the game's memory to overflow, essentially creating a Pokémon that was never meant to appear. The most notorious effect of this overflow was item duplication. When a player caught Missing No, the glitch would corrupt the player's item data. Specifically, the 6th item in their inventory would be duplicated, creating hundreds or even thousands of the same item. This could have significant consequences for players, especially since they could exploit the glitch to obtain infinite Master Balls or rare candies. While this was an incredible boon for players who wanted to stock up on items, it also highlighted just how fragile the game's memory system really was. The developers at Game Freak could not have anticipated how players would interact with their game, and so they couldn't predict the ways in which the game's memory system would break down. Yet these glitches were not always seen as problems. They became features of the game that players loved to explore. The emergence of ROM hacking. As the glitches became more widely known, a new phenomenon emerged: ROM hacking. ROM hacks are modified versions of the original game files that allow players to alter the game's code, unlocking new features, changing the game world, or even creating entirely new games using the original engine. ROM hackers quickly realized that Pokémon's fragile memory system offered a wealth of possibilities for manipulation. One of the earliest ROM hacks to take advantage of Pokémon glitches was Pokémon Prism, a fan-made game that incorporated many of the same glitches found in the original games. ROM hackers began to modify the Pokémon Red and Blue code to create new Pokémon, change the game's mechanics, and even fix some of the glitches that had been discovered over the years. ROM hacks also allowed players to revisit the game's original glitches in new ways. For example, in Pokémon Red and Blue, it was possible to use the Missing No glitch to duplicate items, but ROM hackers took this idea even further by creating new Pokémon that behaved like Missing No, or adding entirely new areas to the game that could only be accessed through specific glitches. The rise of ROM hacking also contributed to the enduring appeal of Pokémon glitches. As more players discovered the joy of manipulating the game's code, the glitch community began to thrive, with new discoveries and modifications being shared online. This helped to preserve the legacy of the original Pokémon games, keeping them alive for new generations of players to experience. Legacy of the glitch engine. While Pokémon Red and Blue were eventually followed by later generations of Pokémon games, the glitches discovered in the first generation games have continued to influence the series to this day. Glitches like Missing No and the Mew glitch became iconic, not just for the chaos they caused, but for the way they revealed the fragility and beauty of the game's code. The legacy of these glitches can be seen in the way that newer Pokémon games continue to incorporate fan-favourite bugs and exploits into the game. In more recent entries in the series, such as Pokémon Sword and Shield, developers have winked at the glitches of the past by including Easter eggs and references to Missing No and other famous Pokémon bugs. Some of these references are subtle, while others are more overt, like the inclusion of the Missing No sprite in a hidden area of the game. Glitches and bugs have become an integral part of Pokémon culture, not just as a quirky part of the game's history, but as a way for players to engage with the code in a more intimate way. For fans, glitches represent the fragility of video games, the way they can break, bend, and twist in unexpected ways when pushed to their limits. The hidden code beneath Pokémon Red and Blue is a testament to both the brilliance and the fragility of early video game development. The limited memory and processing power of the Game Boy created an environment where glitches were not just inevitable, they were baked into the fabric of the game. These glitches, from Missing No to the Mew glitch, became more than just errors. They became part of the Pokémon legend, shaping the community and the way players interacted with the game. Through ROM hacking, speedrunning, and online forums, the glitches of the first Pokémon games have lived on, inspiring new generations of gamers to explore the game's inner workings. The legacy of these glitches is far from over, and as long as players continue to push the boundaries of what's possible, the hidden code of Pokémon will remain a source of fascination and wonder. In the world of Pokémon, no other concept stoked the fires of imagination like the Pokégods. These elusive, mythical beings were said to exist beyond the normal bounds of the game, offering power and secrets that no regular Pokémon could. The Pokégods were a perfect blend of real in-game data and fan-created legends, intertwining fact and fiction in a way that kept the community guessing for years. The idea of Pokégods was first spread through the fertile ground of playground whispers and early internet forums. Kids who were playing Pokémon Red and Blue in the late 90s were not just content with catching the known 151 Pokémon. They yearned for more. Rumors circulated of powerful, godlike Pokémon that could evolve into strange and dangerous new forms, often tied to glitches in the game's code. Among the most popular of the Pokégods was the concept of the crystal Pokémon. These so-called Pokémon were often described as godlike creatures, beautiful and deadly, whose powers exceeded those of the known legendaries. For example, one such legendary was rumoured to be a Crystal Mewtwo, an alternate form of the iconic Mewtwo, thought to be a beta design that was never included in the final game. These crystal Pokémon became the focal point of many fan theories, often linked to data corruption or out-of-bounds exploits. In addition to these mythical Pokémon, there was the legend of a Pokémon called Fione's twin. This creature, described as an evil counterpart to Phione, a Pokémon that would later be introduced in Generation 4, was believed to be trapped in the game's code, ready to be unlocked by the most dedicated glitch hunters. Some players even speculated that these Pokémon were originally meant to be part of the game but were cut during development, leaving only traces of them hidden deep within the code. What made these Pokégods so captivating was that they combined the elements of real Pokémon, like evolutions, types and moves, with mythical powers that made them seem far beyond the reach of mere mortals. The idea that there were hidden, godlike beings within the game kept fans coming back, searching for clues, even as they discovered the truth. There was no such thing. The data behind these Pokémon didn't exist, at least not in the way players imagined. But the myth of the Pokégods lived on. Over the years, as rumours evolved and new players entered the community, The legend of these creatures began to feel more like a shared cultural experience than just a myth. The Pokégods became an integral part of the Pokémon folklore, with countless stories, fan artworks, and even fan-made ROM hacks bringing them to life. Picablu and other forgotten Pokémon. Among the most enduring and beloved Pokémon myths was the tale of Picablu. This Pokémon was described as a blue version of Pikachu, still an electric type, but with a distinctly different look. According to the legend, Picablu was a rare secret Pokémon that could be found in the wild or obtained through some mysterious means. Some versions of the myth suggested that Picablu was an early design for Pikachu, discarded before the game was released. Others claimed that it was simply a very rare variant, almost like a shiny Pokémon, but one that could only be found through a glitch. What made the Picablu myth so compelling was that it seemed plausible. Pikachu, as the mascot of the Pokémon franchise, had already cemented its place in players' hearts. The idea of a rare blue Pikachu hidden somewhere in the game's vast world seemed entirely possible, especially given the common knowledge that the game was rushed and imperfectly debugged. Fans were relentless in their search for Picablu. Players combed through the game's files, experimented with various glitch sequences, and even created elaborate stories to explain how this elusive Pokémon could be caught. The legend was bolstered by sightings in fan art, where Picablu was depicted as a serene mermaid-like creature, or sometimes just as a recolored Pikachu. Even after the release of later Pokémon generations, where new Pokémon with similar color schemes appeared, the myth of Picablu lived on, an enduring piece of the early internet era of Pokémon fandom. The idea of Picablu captured the essence of the Pokégods. Its legend was rooted in a mix of fact and fiction, giving fans something to believe in and chase. However, like the Pokégods, Picablu was never real. It was simply a case of fans seeing something that wasn't there, turning a simple glitch or fan-made speculation into a full-fledged myth that transcended the game's actual content. The hunt for crystal Pokémon. The search for crystal Pokémon, or even a crystal Mewtwo, was one of the most widespread and enduring rumours of the early Pokémon community. These Pokémon were believed to be related to data remnants or leftover beta designs from the game's development. One of the most intriguing aspects of the crystal Pokémon myth was that they were often tied to corrupted game data. Players claimed that they had stumbled upon a crystal Pokémon after triggering a series of glitches, usually by exploiting the game's faulty memory or by performing out-of-bound map-breaking exploits like the Safari Zone glitch or Missing No. They would report encountering strange Pokémon whose colours and appearances were completely unlike anything seen in the official game. The descriptions of these creatures varied wildly, but they all shared a common trait. They seemed to be hidden, part of the game's original design, but ultimately discarded or left incomplete. In some cases, players believed that these crystal Pokémon were locked behind complex, multi-step glitches. It was said that only the most dedicated players could unlock these creatures, and their discovery was considered a major achievement. Some believed that if you caught one of these Pokémon, it would somehow unlock a new level, an alternate world, or a hidden story arc, perhaps even a new region to explore. But the reality was far less magical. These crystal Pokémon were the result of corrupted memory data being interpreted as Pokémon data. What players were encountering were either sprite glitches, corrupted game data, or just random leftovers from early development that had been accidentally left in the game. The lore surrounding these crystal Pokémon reached its peak with the belief that they were part of a deeper, hidden layer of the game. The fact that the Pokémon series had already included powerful legendaries like Mewtwo, Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres made the idea of a crystal Pokémon seem plausible, especially when many glitches seemed to lead to bizarre, incomplete Pokémon that were clearly not part of the original roster. But as time passed and the mysteries of the game's code were unraveled, it became clear that these legendary creatures were mere product of speculation and memory manipulation. The myth of missing no Pikachu's true power. Perhaps the most significant Pokémon glitch in history, Missing No, was a bug that captured the imagination of players worldwide. Missing No was originally discovered through the Old Man glitch in Viridian City, where players could encounter this bizarre, corrupted creature by performing a sequence of specific actions. While Missing No was indeed a real glitch, over time, many players came to believe that there was more to the creature than met the eye. One popular myth surrounding Missing No was that it had some secret, hidden power. Some players claimed that catching Missing No would unlock a hidden world or grant access to secret Pokémon. Others believed that Missing No had the ability to summon other legendary Pokémon, or that it could be evolved into an even more powerful creature through some unknown process. These myths were fueled by the oddities and unexpected results that came from catching Missing No. For example, the item duplication glitch, where the 6th item in the player's inventory would be cloned. As time went on, Missing No became more than just a glitch. It became a symbol of the hidden, mysterious power of the game. Players started to create their own theories about what Missing No really was, with some suggesting that it was a lost or cut Pokémon, something that had been intended for the game but was removed in development. Others suggested that Missing No, was a glitchy remnant of the game's unfinished code, a creature trapped between the boundaries of data and the real world. While the truth behind Missing No's origins is now well understood, the myth of its true power persisted for years. Fans continued to speculate, create fan art, and write stories about the potential of this strange, corrupted Pokémon. To many, Missing No represented the ultimate glitch, a Pokémon that wasn't meant to exist, yet somehow became a crucial part of Pokémon history. Fiction versus reality. The line between Pokémon glitches and myths is often difficult to discern. Glitches like Missing No and the Mew glitch were indeed real. They could be replicated and were verifiable by players. But the myths surrounding them, like the idea that Missing No could evolve into a powerful creature, or that there were hidden worlds to explore, were entirely fictional. These stories were born out of players' imaginations, driven by a desire to discover something new and exciting in a game they had already explored thoroughly. These myths were not born from malice, but from a sense of wonder and curiosity. Players didn't just want to play the game, they wanted to uncover its deepest secrets, to experience the feeling of discovery, and to find the impossible. Even though the truth behind the Pokégods, Picarblu, and Missing No was eventually revealed, the legends surrounding them continue to live on, becoming an integral part of Pokémon folklore. Conclusion. The myths surrounding Pokémon glitches have become as important to the series as the games themselves. From the legends of Pokégods and Picarblu to the enduring mystery of Missing No, these stories have captured the imaginations of players for generations. While most of these myths have been debunked, their power lies in the way they connected players to the game on a deeper level. They weren't just rumours, they were the lifeblood of a community, bringing players together in their shared quest for discovery. In the end, the allure of the Pokémon glitch myths wasn't about finding real creatures or hidden worlds. It was about the thrill of the chase, the excitement of uncovering something that shouldn't be there, and the community that arose to share these experiences. These legends, like the glitches themselves, continue to haunt the hearts of Pokémon fans, proof that sometimes the most magical experiences are born from the most unexpected places. Pokémon battles are the core of the franchise, the very essence of what makes it fun to catch them all. But what happens when the mechanics of the game are pushed beyond their limits? In Pokémon Red and Blue, glitches didn't just break the game's visuals or cause strange behaviours in the map. They fundamentally altered how battles worked, sometimes leading to bizarre and sometimes game-breaking outcomes. One of the earliest and most famous battle glitches is the sleep clause and hyper beam interaction. Normally in a Pokémon battle, if a Pokémon uses hyper beam, it must recharge during its next turn, meaning the user cannot attack or switch Pokémon. The move was powerful, but the recharge was a huge drawback. However, in the original Pokémon games, if a Pokémon was asleep during its recharge turn, the game would erroneously skip the recharge phase entirely. This allowed the user to attack again without suffering the consequences of Hyper Beam's recharge. This glitch became a game changer in competitive play. Players could use Pokémon with Sleep Powder or Hypnosis to put an opponent's Pokémon to sleep during the recharge turn of Hyper Beam, allowing them to fire off another devastating attack the next turn without any penalty. In many cases, players used this glitch to dominate the battle by repeatedly exploiting the sleep status to avoid the Hyper Beam penalty, making it an overpowered strategy that became a subject of much debate and frustration in the early Pokémon competitive scene. The issue wasn't limited to just Hyper Beam. Other status conditions like paralysis would also interfere with the battle engine's priority system, causing moves to fail or work in strange, unpredictable ways. The result was a chaotic battle system where status effects and recharge turns didn't always behave as intended, leading to unexpected outcomes that could give one player an unfair advantage. What's fascinating is how these glitches became a part of the community's understanding of the game. They weren't just bugs to be fixed, they were strategies, shortcuts, and tools that players used to break the game in new and innovative ways. These glitches weren't just part of the game's technical flaws, they were woven into the very fabric of competitive play, creating an entirely new, albeit broken, style of gameplay. Safari Zone and Glitch City. Perhaps one of the most bizarre exploits in Pokémon Red and Blue was the Safari Zone glitch that led to the creation of Glitch City, one of the game's most infamous corrupted areas. The Safari Zone in Future City is a place where players can catch wild Pokémon, but it's also a place full of potential for glitchy misadventures. The zone's unique mechanics, where players throw bait and rocks to catch Pokémon, while also worrying about the step counter, create opportunities for game-breaking bugs to appear. The Safari Zone glitch is activated by reaching exactly 500 steps in the Safari Zone before attempting to exit the building. The game, unable to handle the overflow of data associated with this specific step count, triggers a glitch that warps the player to Glitch City, a garbled mess of overlapping map data, invisible walls, and floating objects that shouldn't exist. Once inside Glitch City, players find themselves standing in a chaotic, corrupted world. Parts of Cinnabar Island, Route 15, and other locations blend together, creating a warped version of the game world. Here, players can walk through walls, skip entire sections of the game, and discover hidden areas that were never meant to be seen. It was a place where anything could happen, and the game's internal data seemed to break down entirely. Glitch City became a playground for players who were eager to explore the boundaries of the game. Some used it as a way to bypass obstacles like the Safari Zone itself, while others used it to access corrupted trainers and Pokémon that could not be found in the regular game. However, the glitch wasn't without risks. Navigating Glitch City required careful attention, as one wrong step could lead to crashes, softlocks, or even corrupt saves. The potential to mess up the game entirely added an element of danger to the exploration, making it as thrilling as it was risky. The real magic of Glitch City, though, came from walk-through walls glitches. By manipulating the game's collision detection system, players could phase through walls, leading them to new, unexplored areas. This ability allowed for sequence breaks, where players could skip entire sections of the game, including gyms, events, and even certain battles. Glitch City wasn't just a place of chaos, it was a tool, an unintended feature of the game that allowed players to control the world of Kanto in ways that the developers never imagined. Unlocking glitched Pokémon. Some of the most exciting discoveries made by glitch hunters involved unlocking glitched Pokémon, creatures that weren't part of the official game but were hidden in the game's code, accessible only through specific glitches or exploits. The most famous of these is Missing No, the glitch Pokémon that could be caught using the Old Man glitch in Viridian City. The significance of Missing No was that it was a Pokémon that existed solely due to a memory overflow error. By triggering a random encounter on Cinnabar Island with a corrupted memory address, players could encounter Missing No sets, a blocky, jumbled mess of pixels that didn't resemble any of the normal Pokémon. Missing No's most notable feature was its ability to duplicate the sixth item in the player's inventory, leading to some of the most widely used cheats in the early days of Pokémon. Beyond Missing No, players also discovered other glitched Pokémon, like M, a variant of Missing No, with a different sprite, and Ghost Missing No, a spectral Pokémon that could only be encountered under very specific circumstances. These glitched Pokémon often had bizarre stats, moves, and behaviours that made them unlike anything in the official Pokédex. For example, Ghost Missing No was an invisible Pokémon with random stats that could corrupt your game's data. The glitched Pokémon weren't just curiosities, they were a form of game-breaking power. Players could use these corrupted creatures to fill their party with incredibly strong Pokémon, or even trade them to other players, spreading the glitch to other save files. The idea that there were hidden Pokémon in the game, creatures that were never meant to be caught, but could be unlocked through manipulation, added an element of mystery and excitement to the game. The excitement around these glitched Pokémon wasn't just about the creatures themselves, but about the discovery process. Players felt like they were uncovering something special, something that wasn't meant to be found, and this feeling of exploration was central to the experience. Catching a glitched Pokémon like Missing No wasn't just about breaking the game, it was about being part of a community of players who were all on the same quest to uncover the hidden secrets of Pokémon. The Hall of Fame corruption, one of the most interesting side effects of glitches like Missing No. And Ghost Pokémon was the way they could corrupt the Hall of Fame. Normally, the Hall of Fame was a record of the player's greatest achievements, showcasing the Pokémon they had caught, trained, and battled with. It was a place of pride, a visual representation of the player's journey through the game. However, when a player caught a glitched Pokémon like Missing No, or if they used certain battle-exploiting glitches, the data in the Hall of Fame would become corrupted. Instead of displaying the usual list of victorious Pokémon, the Hall of Fame would show distorted or completely random data. Pokémon that didn't exist might appear, along with corrupted sprites or impossible stats. Sometimes the player's own name might be replaced with gibberish. The corruption of the Hall of Fame was a lasting reminder of the glitches that had infected the game's data. It was as if the game itself had been broken open, revealing the raw, unpolished edges that had been hidden beneath the surface. For some players, the corrupted Hall of Fame was a badge of honor, proof that they had dared to push the game to its limits and explore the boundaries of the code. For others, it was a reminder of the game's fragility, how one wrong move, one poorly timed action could destroy months of progress. The Hall of Fame corruption wasn't just a bug, it was a symbol of how deeply intertwined the game's data was with its narrative. The corruption didn't just affect the game's mechanics, it affected the player's sense of accomplishment. Suddenly, the Hall of Fame wasn't a reflection of the player's triumphs. It was a distorted, glitch-ridden mess, a snapshot of a broken world. Speedrunning and glitch strategies. As glitches became better understood, they evolved from exploits to strategies. Pokémon speedrunners, who sought to complete the games as quickly as possible, found that glitches could be used to skip long sections of gameplay, duplicate items, and even bypass key battle sequences. These glitch-based strategies became an integral part of the speedrunning community, with players constantly testing new ways to manipulate the game's code. One of the most iconic glitch-based strategies in Pokémon speedrunning is the missing no, duplication glitch. By catching missing no and duplicating the 6th item in the player's inventory, speedrunners could stockpile essential items like Master Balls or rare candies, drastically reducing the time spent on catching Pokémon or leveling up. This glitch allowed runners to skip entire sections of the game and perform actions that would otherwise be impossible. The ability to break the game and exploit glitches became a defining feature of Pokémon speedrunning. Runners could manipulate the game's code in ways that allowed them to finish the game in record time. The glitch-based strategies used in Pokémon speedrunning helped push the boundaries of what was possible in the game, showing how players could manipulate the code to their advantage. The glitches in Pokémon Red and Blue were more than just bugs. They were a fundamental part of the game's culture and gameplay mechanics. From battle exploits to walk through walls, these exploits fundamentally altered how players interacted with the game. They weren't just accidental errors, they were a form of expression, a way for players to break free from the constraints of the game and experience it in new and exciting ways. Whether it was battling with a corrupted Pokémon, exploring Glitch City, or duplicating items to shave time off a speedrun, glitches became an essential part of the Pokémon experience. These exploits weren't just seen as errors to be fixed, they were features to be explored, exploited, and celebrated. In many ways, glitches became a testament to the creativity and ingenuity of the Pokémon community, showing how players could turn flaws into features and make the game their own. In the world of Pokémon, the idea of haunted game cartridges has captivated players for years. These haunting tales typically involved players discovering corrupted game data or experiencing strange, unsettling occurrences in the game that couldn't be explained by normal glitches. Many of these stories began circulating in the early days of the Pokémon fandom, where players would swear that their game cartridges, specifically those that were believed to be haunted, would take on a life of their own. One of the most famous and chilling of these tales is the Lavender Town syndrome. Lavender Town, located in the Pokémon Red and Blue games, is known for its eerie music and dark atmosphere. The town's Pokémon Tower, a graveyard for Pokémon, serves as the site where players face off against Team Rocket and encounter ghost-type Pokémon. This haunting setting set the tone for many of the strange occurrences players would later associate with haunted cartridges. Rumours of Lavender Town syndrome suggest that certain copies of the game, especially older, second-hand cartridges, would cause players to experience strange, unexplainable phenomena while in Lavender Town. These phenomena ranged from the game freezing to corrupted sprites to the infamous ghosts that were said to appear on screen. Many claimed that these ghosts had the ability to corrupt saved data, causing the game to become haunted and unplayable after visiting Lavender Town. Some stories even suggested that these haunted games could infect other cartridges if traded, spreading the curse across multiple players' saves. Although no concrete evidence ever surfaced to prove that certain Pokémon cartridges were truly haunted, the stories persist. Part of the allure of these haunted legends comes from the unsettling atmosphere of the game itself. Pokémon Red and Blue, with their pixelated sprites and eerie music, set the stage for rumours of paranormal phenomena to take root. In many ways, these ghost stories reflect how folklore and mystery can evolve in a digital age, where glitches were often mistaken for something much more sinister. These ghost stories live on in the collective memory of players, and even modern games in the Pokémon series continue to reference the haunted themes from the original games. The idea of haunted cartridges became so ingrained in the fandom that it eventually morphed into a piece of Pokémon lore, influencing fan fiction, creepypasta stories, and even future generations of players. As players look back at the original games, Lavender Town and its ghosts remain one of the most hauntingly memorable aspects of the early Pokémon experience. The Abyss deep dive into the unsolved. Beneath the surface-level glitches and myths, there exist deeper, darker layers of the Pokémon iceberg. These are the glitches and rumours that are so obscure, so deeply buried in the game's code, that their true nature remains a mystery to this day. These unsolved mysteries and haunting legends blur the line between glitch and lore, leaving players to wonder if they're dealing with an error in the code or something far more sinister. One such mystery is the beta Pokémon. These are Pokémon that were discovered through data mining, and while they were never included in the final game, traces of them can still be found within the game's code. These Pokémon were presumably planned during the development of the original Pokémon Red and Blue, only to be cut for one reason or another. However, some of these beta Pokémon are considered unfinished, with their data being incomplete or corrupted. As a result, these Pokémon have a ghostly, unfinished quality that further adds to the legends of lost or hidden creatures. In some cases, these beta Pokémon have made their way into fan-made ROM hacks and projects, giving new life to creatures that were once lost to the abyss of the game's development. But the true nature of these beta Pokémon remains unclear. Were they early designs that were scrapped for gameplay balance, or were they part of a deeper story arc that was abandoned due to time or technical limitations? The answers may never be fully known, and in this uncertainty, the allure of the beta Pokémon persists, shrouded in mystery. Another unsolved mystery is the ghost-type Pokémon that has appeared in several iterations of the Pokémon series. Some players claim to have encountered ghost-like creatures in the original games that weren't part of the official Pokédex. These entities, which sometimes resemble distorted versions of existing Pokémon or unknown figures, are believed to be remnants of earlier versions of the game, or perhaps even ghosts left over from a corrupted game save. One of the most famous instances of these mysterious ghost Pokémon occurred in Pokémon Red and Blue, where players discovered a ghost-type Pokémon that was invisible, had no sprite, and exhibited strange behaviour. This ghost was sometimes referred to as the haunted Pokémon, and it was said to appear only in certain locations under very specific conditions. Many players believed that this ghost-type Pokémon was a hidden part of the game, possibly linked to the mysterious missing Pokémon or related to the cut content. To this day, no one knows for sure what these ghost Pokémon were meant to represent, or if they were simply a bug. Their existence in the code remains a haunting mystery, and as with the haunted cartridge rumours, these ghost Pokémon continue to fuel the belief that there are hidden corners of the Pokémon universe that players have yet to fully explore. Glitches that weren't really glitches. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Pokémon glitch lore is the idea that some glitches were not glitches at all, but rather intentional features left in the game by the developers. These glitches may have seemed like errors or bugs to players at first, but some fans speculate that they were part of the developers' efforts to test the boundaries of the game. For example, some glitches that led to unexpected evolutions, like HM Jump, which allowed players to bypass barriers or hop over ledges, were speculated to be secret mechanics left behind by the developers as Easter eggs or unfinished features. It's possible that these were never meant to be seen by players, or perhaps they were simply the result of oversights in the game's design. But the line between intentional features and glitches is often blurry. The theory that some glitches were actually part of the developers' plans to create hidden content is a compelling one. For example, the Pokégods, which were once thought to be part of the original game, could have been early attempts at implementing mythical creatures that were scrapped or left incomplete. Some players believe that certain glitch-based encounters, like those in Glitch City, were planned as test zones for future features or expansions that never made it into the final release. What's particularly fascinating about these theories is how they play into the broader lore of Pokémon. They suggest that the games weren't just coded with technical limitations in mind. They were built with a sense of mystery, allowing for hidden, unfinished elements that players could discover and speculate about. These glitches weren't just bugs, they were artifacts of a larger, unseen world, one that players could glimpse only by pushing the boundaries of the game's code. The enduring allure of the iceberg. Why do these glitches and unsolved mysteries persist in the Pokémon community? What is it about these stories, about the Pokégods, ghost Pokémon, and haunted cartridges that keeps players coming back, even decades after the original games were released? The answer lies in the spirit of discovery, in the thrill of uncovering something that wasn't meant to be seen, and in the sense of wonder that these glitches and myths inspire. At its core, the Pokémon Iceberg represents the mystique of the unknown. Pokémon was a game built on the idea of exploration and discovery, collecting creatures, battling trainers, and unlocking new areas. But the glitches and myths introduced a layer of mystery that went beyond what was officially presented. They suggested that there was always more to uncover, more to explore, and more to experience. It wasn't just about catching them all, it was about finding the secrets hidden beneath the surface. And in the end, this is what makes the Pokémon Glitch Iceberg so captivating. It's not just about breaking the game, it's about the pursuit of the impossible, the exploration of the uncharted, and the discovery of a world that exists outside the official rules. The abyss of Pokémon glitches and myths will never be fully understood, but that's part of its charm. Players will continue to search, explore, and speculate, always seeking the hidden layers of the Pokémon world that remain just beyond their reach. The deepest layers of the Pokémon Iceberg are full of unsolved mysteries and haunting legends that have captured the imaginations of players for years. From haunted cartridges to ghost Pokémon, and from Pokégods to beta creatures, the glitches in Pokémon have become more than just bugs. They've become an integral part of the game's lore. These mysteries continue to fuel the curiosity of fans who keep searching for the hidden truths buried beneath the surface of the games. While many of these myths have been debunked or explained, the allure of the unknown remains. As long as players continue to explore the depths of the Pokémon universe, the mysteries of the iceberg will continue to endure, providing a source of fascination, wonder, and excitement for generations of players to come.